to Linux Overdose. Today is April 2nd, 2016, and this is episode 2, Beginning to End Linux Mint, Part 2, Installing Linux Mint. Now, you've probably seen Part 1, which was Getting Ready, and that showed you how to download a Linux ISO and how to burn it to a DVD or a USB flash drive. And then to boot off of it, you just go into your BIOS, which you just turn on your computer and hit the delete button. That's how I get in my BIOS. Now yours might be F1, F2, or a different key, but mine is delete. And then I'll get in BIOS. I go to boot sequence and choose either the DVD to boot off first or the USB flash drive, and save and exit BIOS, and then I'll be booting off the live DVD that I created. Now I already tried that, and I thought this hardware will let me record with the video shown, and I couldn't get it to work right. So I'm going to go to plan B, which is to install Virtualbox, and I'll be installing it in through a Virtualbox instead of the hard drive I was planning on installing. But it'd be the same process to install on your on real hardware if you want to. But you can use this as another option you can have to play with Linux if you don't want to install it yet on your system. And I already installed Virtualbox, but I show you how I did install. I went to System, Synaptic Package Manager, and then search for it. And you see that it's already installed, but you just right click it, click on mark for installation, which is not highlighted because it's already installed, but if it wasn't, you can highlight this, mark it, and then this will be highlighted, apply. You click on that, press OK, and then it gets installed. So and to run it, you just go System, scroll down to the bottom, Virtualbox, and this is what you get. Now I'm going to install, first I'll set up the Virtualbox, and how you do that, you just click on New, name the virtual system that you're going to be creating, and it's going to be Linux Mint 17.3 ROSA MATE, and of course it's the 64-bit, which will be right here. Press next. I'm going to give it at least 2 gigabytes of memory, of virtual memory. Press next. Default virtual hard drive will be 8 gigabytes. I'm going to create it, but I will raise the number here when I get to that point. So I create this. Just leave this as default, a Virtualbox disk image. Leave this as default. Press next. Here's the hard drive. I'm gonna raise it to about 17 half gigabytes. Be fine. Create. And now I created the Virtualbox. Now we'll go in the process of installing Linux. First I gotta set up a few things, so I click on Settings, go Advanced. We're going to share the clipboard, drag and drop, System, unclick floppy, and go to Display, enable 3D accelerator, storage, go to empty, and click on the virtual DVD, and instead booting off the live DVD that I created, since it's a Virtualbox, I can just go ahead and click on the ISO that I downloaded from the site. So press open and go to network, attach to the bridge adapter, which is Ether 0, which is my wire. Press OK, and now I'm ready to boot in Linux Mint. Just press start, and now I'll be booting off the live ISO, or if I was doing it in my system, off the live DVD that I did create, which I'm not using. And it's pretty quick. It's quicker, I think, than off DVD. Of course, after you install it, it's fast anyway, so it's actually fast booting off of this, and fast to look, see, it's already, I'm gonna go ahead and enlarge the screen. I'm gonna get rid of the window by going full screen, and I'm pressing host and F. The host key is the right control. That would do the full screen, and then the menu, host plus home. And now I'm in full screen, and I'll also get the menu by this hidden bar here in the center. This is your Virtualbox. So now this is what you'll see when you boot off a live DVD, or if you chose to try it out on the Virtualbox first. Now to install it, how you know you're on live, you always see this icon to install. Soon you install it, you'll never see this no more. Press open, and I'm in the process of installing Linux on this Virtualbox, or if it was on a system, onto my new system. English, your language. Now it's just telling me that I need at least 9.8 gigabytes of space. If I left that 8 gigabyte of default, then I wouldn't be able to install this. That's why I raised it to 17.5 gigabytes, and am connected to the internet through the Virtualbox. And now, since there's nothing on the virtual drive, I can just erase this and install Mint. Now if I had something installed, it'll have an option of installing Linux Mint beside the current operating system. That's a dual boot, and I never do boot. I always put it on a different hard drive. So, but since there's nothing on here, this is just a Virtualbox, I'm going to click as is. So install now, and it's just a warning that everything's going to be gone. But like I said, it's a virtual drive, so it ain't hurting my system. Press continue, and now it's asking me you know, where I live, for time zone, Indianapolis. Continue. English keyboard layout. Continue. Choose a username. I'm just going to put user, and then for password we just do green, 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 and then it's a short password. So this is red. This is green when it's a good password. You want it long, at least one capital letter, a number, maybe even a character too. But I just going to keep this short, easy to remember. I'm going to click on login automatic so I don't have to enter my password in every time I log in, and press continue. And now it's in the process of installing it on the virtual drive. If I was booting off that live DVD, it would be installing on the hard drive, which is mine's solid state drive, but it's just a virtual drive. And this installs pretty fast too, I think, faster than a DVD. So this is going to be kind of fun to do this for the other 9 that I'll be going through beginning to end. And there ain't gonna be too much to show you on the final setup, because Linux Mint pretty much, you know, set up. You're gonna like all the defaults. You might change a few things. I explain a few things that I'll change, and where you go to change them. So we'll get this installed first. And the first thing I always do after I install a fresh installment is I update it, which you probably think it's crazy because it's a fresh install, you know. Why would you why you need to update it? You just I'm going to hit restart now, which is a reboot. So now it's going to reboot of the installment that I did. Hopefully. Looks like it failed. It's the first time it did fail. Control F. And I'm just going to hit reboot if I can, or reset, see what happens. See if I reboot this time. That's the first time that happened. But even if it's messed up, you just start over. But it seems like it's alright. So there we go. It's installed. And this is what you see. And this is just a walkthrough of a system. And you can this will show up every time when you reboot, unless you uncheck this. And if you ever want to see it again, you just go, I forget where it's at, but we'll just go all applications, and it should be alphabetical order. So right here, welcome screen, and it's here. So even though it ain't starting up, you still can get to it. Alright, now we rebooted. We took the live DVD out if that's what you had, and now you got a fresh installed Linux Mint. And you already can see that there's an update manager here already available. So I'm going to go ahead and end this right now, and then I'll continue part 3 from this point. So sign off on part 2.